Hey, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Double honors to the elders of GMS, and salutations and greetings, and honors to those also in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai, prophesying His word in truth. And it's more than evidence, only GMS that's doing that. All right, in this country and all over the world. To all the brothers out there. Anyway, this show is gonna be basically, I saw an article on that came off RT. I know you brothers have the RT app, getting all your alerts, and I saw an alert that sparked the thought of this video, and it was I'll just read the title. It says U.S. airstrikes against ISIS may have killed civilians. All right, so basically, this show is going to be on how much the other nations are going to hate America and are not going to destroy America based off that article, because here it is throughout decades and decades, America has been causing war and destroying other countries, but they've been killing civilians in these other countries, killing their own people in these other nations, you know. Not like they matter, only the nation of Israel matters, but the point of the fact is we're talking about America's destruction, and that these other nations, which is written in the scriptures, all right, they're gonna be partaking in the destruction of America, and the reason they're gonna bomb America with nuclear missiles is because the pure hatred they have for them, and this is one of the reasons. Not only did the America steal other nations' resources, took over their country, put puppet leaders in there, but they have killed many of their people there, many of the civilians. I remember I looked up, learned years ago that Iraq, they have the most orphans in the world. I think like some crazy number, like 500 million orphans, because of what America, how many people civilians have America been killing over there, and that's in a lot of countries. You know, how many times do you have to see America accidentally always killing civilians in other countries? That just builds up the hatred and the pure anger the other nations are gonna have on America, and why one of the reasons why they're gonna blow this place to smithereens. Mm-hmm.
This is this is this is Jeremiah 51 verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right, and how has America, aka Babylon, made all the earth drunken? It's made all the earth drunken with its philosophies, man. Verse 7, right? America has made the world drunken with its philosophies, because in the scriptures they refer or compare it to philosophies onto like wine, right? So it's saying that all the earth has been drunken with the philosophies of America. One of the philosophies of America is to give women rights. Okay, that's why you have a lot of so that's one another reason why these other nations don't like America. Not only do they cause all type of mayhem and bomb and killing innocent people, they try to conform them basically into the New World Order system, you know, and the ones that's really bucking up, that's not making it easy for them, is Ishmael, you know.
You just said something. You just said something that sparked, because you know what, this bombing happened in Syria, and you said one of the only countries that are really the only last few nations that are buck up against Esau is Ishmael, and he's right, because this bombing happened in Syria, which means it's not an accident, because Syria, I believe, is the only country that is not is not in total debt to the international bankers. Syria, but believe it or not, even when I found out, I'm still hard to believe that, because these international banks have everything on lock. But as far as Syria, they have their own kind of government, their own monetary system in a way. Um, no GMOs. I mean, I know the international bankers are involved somehow, but for the majority, they're doing their own thing, and they're not they're not in debt, like supreme debt, like it is like the other nations are. Basically, they're not reliable on the international bankers like the other nations are in debt. So that's why you have a lot of Syria's always in the news, like being the big bad guy, or that's where all the terrorists are. So it doesn't come to surprise me that that this civilian bombing, so-called accidental bombing, happened in Syria.
Yep. It says, I'll continue. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right? So we're going into the reasons why all these nations are upset and mad with America. And here's another one, that philosophy. Because America, they try to push and want to push their whole thing about democracy, right? Which is all bullshit, really. But really, what Esau wants to push is that new world order, man. And they're trying to the way they take over a country is a one main way to do that is to put them in debt, man. Why? Because the scriptures say the servant is borrowed to the lender, so they know if they put them in a situation where they owe them, in essence they own them, you know. But Syria isn't making it easy for them, you know. Why? Because they're backed by Russia. They got Russia as their big brother, you know.
That's right. So I'll read this article. It says U.S. airstrikes against ISIS may have killed civilians, and it's important to point out too that ISIS is nothing but a goddamn made up by American CIA anyway, or made up by the American government. But that's another show. All right, but U.S. airstrikes against ISIS may have killed civilians. Yeah, may have. Yeah, con. It says I'll just read a few paragraphs. It says American jets targeting Islamic State Raqqa, Syria, see, like we pointed out, may have killed an unknown number of civilians during an airstrike Tuesday. The U.S. Central Command has said, and today's Wednesday, by the way. What's today's date? Wednesday, the 24th, is it? Yeah. All right, so it says reports indicate that what appeared to be a non-military vehicle. I'll read that again. Reports indicate that what appeared to be a non-military vehicle drove into the target area after the weapon was released from the aircraft. Oh, really? So you're telling me you're the most top-notch synchronized technology military weapons that you spend billions of dollars on, all right, fired, and then all of a sudden an unknown, what to say here? Yeah, excuse me. A non-military vehicle drove into the target area. Yeah. After the weapon shot, what was it going at? If the laser speed, or were you throwing water balloons at the target? Took 20 minutes to get there. And that's bullshit because these billion-dollar missiles and lasers and guns, they hit their target in preciseness, okay, and quickly. So how the hell are you gonna fire something and then all of a sudden some goddamn old ass 1980 Toyota drives into the target, or some, you know what I mean? So, that's bullshit, man. Okay, I'll read something else real quick. Let me keep reading the stupid article. It says, and then it says, the vehicle's occupants may have perished as a result of the strike. You got something to say real quick? Well, I think so. Con. I'll just read another quick one. It says, U.S. CENTCOM probing civilians' deaths in new Manjabi Syria strike. Rolls out confirmed 2015 toll. It says U.S. Navy sailors prepared to catapult launch a fighter jet from the deck of the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier in the eastern Mediterranean. U.S. Central Command is looking into new claims that the U.S.-led coalition airstrikes recently killed civilians in Syria, Manjabi, where Damascus says more than 120 non-combatants died. It also published a 10-month civilian body count, listing 14 deaths. That was basically it, But we're just showing you, through that article and through America's warfare, all right, with these other nations, that all they do is they're killing a lot of civilians. They're killing a lot of people in their land where they're having war in. We're talking about, like the news likes to put out there, women and children. It's not only women and children; it's the men, whole families. You know what I mean? Of these other nations, and they're dying by the millions, and they've been doing that for years, man. Especially Ishmael over there, you know, because right now the war is with Ishmael. All right, well, really all the nations, but really in the Middle East. You know what I mean? So, we had something else, like maybe Obadiah.
This is Job. Job. This is Saint John 10:10. It says, "The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy," and that's a sign of who the devil is, man. Who the wicked is. That's how we know who the wicked is, man, because they go by that MO. They go by that game plan. They rob, they steal, and they destroy. You know, see them? You know. So that's a so-called white man to the T. That's Esau to the T, man. That's their whole thing. They rob you. They rob the people of the natural resources. They steal money. They steal identities. They stole the identity of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, right? And then what they destroy. They want to destroy everybody in the Middle East and put their puppets in there, right? And ultimately they want to bring down a population of 500 million, man, and have just them as a ruling class and then slaves, you know. But that's not going to happen according to the scriptures, because the next rulers is the Israelites, you know.
We have get Obadiah.
This is Obadiah verse 7. It says, it says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border."
All right. So read that part again.
Yeah, it says, "All the men of thy confederacy."
All the men of thy confederacy, which confederate means means with, and federacy comes from Latin or Greek federa, or federacy, which means a league. So it really means together league, and that together league, or the league that's together, is the EEU, the European the European Union, the nations. All right. So yeah, the EU. I'll read it again. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy." The confederacy is talking about the EU or NATO, and you're gonna know that because it's talking about Esau. All right, and it's controlled by Esau, and they're a league, obviously. Okay.
Right. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border."
Yeah. The border of what? The border of your destruction. Because once the EU and NATO is set up, that's another sign. Well, to the prophets or to the men of the Lord, that's the end of Esau. You know, when you see a league establish itself, and not only a league establish itself, an Edomite league, which is represented by Esau, and that league we've seen has only been NATO or EU, and we're talking about not no freaking basketball or some stupid league, on a small level. We're talking about by nations, a league that's put together, nations getting together. And the only nations that have got together, all right, are the EU and NATO, which is all controlled and put together by Esau himself, the so-called white man. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. And then it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. So now it's talking about this league. They're gonna turn on one of their own members, the border of destruction. One of these members are gonna be brought to an end.
It says, "The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee." Right, and that's a key. That's letting you know it's NATO, man. That's letting you know it's the EU, because it's saying that the men that were at peace with thee. Right now, NATO, they're at peace with. They're in one. They're in allies with America. Why? Because America, in some way, shape, or form, is really part of the EU as well. Okay. So that's a big clue letting you know that it's the EU or it's NATO. It says, "The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee." Right, and they're gonna prevail against them. Why? Because they're the ones. They're gonna, as well as the other nations like Russia and North Korea and China. they're all gonna use their nuclear missiles on America. But guess what? The EU also, the EU as well. You know, um, it says the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Yeah, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. And you go to Revelation, the 18th chapter. We'll start from like the 9th verse or something, and talks about how all the other nations were in bed with America or Babylon, so to speak. All right, and it talks about they wailed because because Babylon burned, and they wailed why? Because of the all the money, and as far as the economy is concerned, all their money and investments in America, all the stuff all the goodies they got from America, they went down. So that means they're going to go down. But yeah, America was the cash cow. The other nations are getting money from. All right, but so it says they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. So they were eating bread. The EU, because look, the America is put out there in the forefront, the number one representative, and put there for a purpose to be that one to distribute all these wicked ass how do you say decrees all over the world, man, or institute these how do you say governments and carry out the agenda of the elites. All right, and America's put as a forefront nation to do that out of the EU, and yeah, because they're influential, like the brother just said. All right, and also as far as money concerned, they're the ones that's making a lot of money for the EU or the international bankers, mainly through war. And you look at the movie I always bring out, the movie with Nicolas Cage, Lord of War. It shows you that war is a big profit maker, the biggest profit maker, and that's how the elites really make their money by war, because they're on both sides. They get to sell to both sides. All right, they get new contracts and new builders when they destroy a country to build that city or construct that city back up with new contracts and new businesses. Once this country's laid to waste, and they put their they can invest in that country and put whatever they want in that country. Put their own puppet leaders. They can still call it, oh yeah, this is a Muslim country. This is run by Shiite Muslims, and yeah, you have but it's really their policies that they're putting in there, no matter who's in there. But the point is, America has been that cash cow for the elites. They're the one that they've been eating bread off them. So that's what that means. So it says, and it says, have laid a wound under thee, because really you don't know that that the EU or the elites or NATO, they know America was just basically an experiment. Okay, and it's nothing but an experiment, and they know that America is going down. All right. Because really, overall, the European nations, they can't stand America anyway. It's kind of like something has gone kind of out of control, like a Frankenstein kind of thing. Yeah, like a spoiled brat. They just lost control. But America, it's been done since the beginning, or planned since the beginning, that America is just an experiment, and that the international bankers knew that it was going to come to an end. Okay, so it says they have laid a wound under thee, because their plan is to take down America. For the New World Order to come in, America has to go down. The New World Order doesn't mean America is still in power. New World Order means that it's a one world government. That means, America has to go down. So that's that wound under thee.
All right, this is Jeremiah 51. This is verse 8. It says, Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Yeah, That's plain. I just wanted to read those two because it names Esau. It names Edom, and Edom in the Hebrew means other one, which means basically red man or red person. Okay, red man, and Esau is Ishashua, which means wasted away is he, which is your skin pigmentation. And I just said those two words in Hebrew, by the way, Lashon Gadash. Now, Esau is you so-called white people or the nation of Edom, and it says you're going to be destroyed. Okay, the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of Mount Esau. Keep going.
Verse 9, it says, "And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed." And Teman, that Teman represents America, okay? And they're going to be dismayed because when they get destroyed, man, it's going to come from all angles, man. I always refer to America's downfall like a damn he's getting jumped, man. Because you're going to get missiles, not only by other nations, you're going to get pelted by missiles from multiple nations, right? Even your own allies, Europe, you're gonna get lasered by chariots, right? And the Lord with Yahweh Shai, right? And right before that, the elect is gonna take part in bringing America to the brink of destruction, So America is really gonna, America and Esau, right? That's why it says you're gonna be dismayed because your new world order is gonna be damn near established, and then a total fallout is gonna happen. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? You're gonna be total. That's why it says, and when it reads Teman, that represents America. All right. It said, I'll read it again. It says, "And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter." And the only ones that are going to be remaining from the mount of Esau are you elites that are going to be hiding out there in Europe, that are going to be hiding out there in that space station, and that are going to be in those underground bunkers. You're out of Esau, out of all the family of Edom, you're going to be the ones that are going to be reserved for slavery, and those are going to be the elites because they're the only ones that are going to be able to go up to the damn space station, go down in those bunkers. All right. So other than that, Esau, you're going to be cut off, man. All right.
Dismayed, by the way, means to weaken or to discourage.
That's right. To weaken or discourage, and you're going to be, weakened beyond measure, man. Because like I said, your downfall is going to come from all angles, and it's not going to be according to your plan after all that praying you did to Satan. I read the next verse because this is the real reason why America is going to go down and why Esau or Edom is going to go into slavery. Verse 10, it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." So your destruction, your demise is solely because of prophecy, but it's also for the violence that you committed against Jacob, which represents the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man. This is why this is happening to you, because you touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which is Israel. The scriptures say you furthered the affliction, right? Yeah, the scriptures say you furthered the affliction. So there's you went overboard with your power, man. So guess what? The Most High, which is all part of the Most High's theater, right? His movie, right? It was all prophesied to go that way. All right. So Esau, you can't be mad, man. This is this is your lot. Your lot is to be on top for a little season and then be taken out by the Israelites, the people that you look down upon. All right. So.
Yeah, I like that word dismayed. I got it in the blue letter now on the Hebrew. It's kathath, which means afraid, break in pieces, broken, break down, abolished, affrighted, amazed, confounded, discouraged, scariest, beaten down, like he said. All right, terrified. You know, and that was a perfect analogy, like the brother said. And all they know is gonna be like Esau's getting jumped, man. You know, and beaten down by other nations. You know, but anyway.
All right, so this is Jeremiah 51. I'll start at 1. It's 1 and 2, but I'll start at 1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord," Jeremiah 51 and 1. "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind." And that destroying wind is talking about those nuclear missiles, okay? Because those nuclear missiles are they they have what's called a nuclear wind, and they're very destructive. And what it does is when a nuclear missile touches down, it pushes everything in its path, and then it pulls it back in. It blows down buildings. You can see it in the footage of that in the 50s or 60s of the atom. That was an atom bomb, by the way. You know how it pushed the buildings down, and then it sucked everything back into its core. That's a lot of power, man. You know, but
I forget what it's called. I forget the scientific terms, but it was like no, I forget, it's like a vacuum. It creates like a vacuum in space or something, and then it sucks it back in. But that's how much power, these nuclear missiles are. That it just interrupts space itself, where it creates some kind of vacuum that sucks pressure in and out or something. It's nuclear power is just crazy power, man. You know.
that's showing you that's the power of the Most High, man. You know, that's what you got to remember. It's the Most High that put that technology in the mind of Esau to create it. You know, why? For his own demise. Okay, verse 2 to the point, it says, "And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall make her land empty." Right, and those fanners are talking about, right, because the first verse it says a destroying wind. A bulk of the missiles is going to come from America. I'm sorry, a bulk of the missiles is going to come from Russia, right? But it says, "And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her." Is talking about those other nations, shooting their missiles too, because what a fanner does is like fire. It needs oxygen to grow. Okay, so when you fan like a fire, even at a campfire, if you blow like fan on it or blow oxygen on it, it's gonna grow. The video I did the other day, I googled a fanner, and it was like the thing that's right next to the fireplace. Yeah, and what does that do? It blows oxygen into the fire, and it allows it to grow. So those fanners are going to be those other nations that's gonna add on, right? That's why it refers to America burning as a lake of fire, because there's going to be a lot of missiles shot over here in America, and that's going to be those other nations, okay? Including in those other nations are going to be is going to be the EU or NATO, man. Your European allies, right?
Why? Because like we started off the show, because they hate America. All right, they're gonna enjoy blowing the smithereens out of America by all the hell that America has put on these other nations, man. Stealing their resources, killing their civilians, like this topic at hand we're talking about on this video. That's why they're gonna get utterly blown away by all these nations, namely Russia.
Right, and it says, "And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall make her land empty. For in the day of trouble they shall be against thee round about. They shall be against her round about." Right, and so that's pretty much describing what America is gonna be in trouble by all angles, man. You got other nations, they're gonna pretty much spiritually jump America, man. With missiles. Then you got the chariots. That's another video. But you got you got your Howard Shine and angels that's gonna take part in the destruction of America too. You know. Yeah, so America's gonna get it from all angles.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, America's going down, man. That's the whole mo of this video. A lot of mo, the mo and the topic at hand with all the other camps, well, GMS camps and videos that they're doing. That this fucking cesspool the America is going down. You know, this miserable life we live in America, you know, is coming to end soon. All right, and all the hell that we personally go through, you know, we just got to stay strong as best as we can to the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, and we already know and pray that this place is going down. All right, well, it's inevitable, but we pray for it to go down faster and for Lord to speed up what's going on here because you know this life is hell, and the Lord's going to come back and correct this. You know, so you know, with the topic video, America's going down. I was a proof of it, the topic, and you know that's pretty much it. So shalom.